Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 3, Zelda, and more. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about PlayStation 3 and a very interesting PSA. If you're in the process of picking up new firmware for your PS3 or even for our PS3, you might want to pay attention to this. It has been found that one of the links on Sony's PS3 software update page is linking to shop firmware instead of retail, which causes issues in our PS3. And apparently downloading and trying to install this firmware on a real PS3 can result in soft bricking. And unfortunately, at the time of filming, the link is still incorrect. So here's the official PlayStation website, and I'm on the PS3 system software update page for version 4.90. If I scroll down here to how to reinstall PS3 console system software and pick up the file from this link, this is the incorrect link. If you're looking for the correct link, you'll want to click update using a computer and pick up this file here. Next up, we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on PC with Yuzu, and Yuzu just released their progress report. I'll drop a link to it in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. It's well written and there's a ton of information here. We're just checking it out at a high level. Now, some of the biggest changes this month were a direct result of dropping support for Windows 7, 8, and 8.1. Yuzu is now more accurate. The differences between playing a game through Yuzu and the actual Switch has been lessened. And Yuzu is more efficient, using less of your CPU, and performance has actually gone up. And on top of that, if you've got a fairly recent Intel CPU, and I'm talking 12th generation or better, then you might even get more power savings up to 20%. So if you've got a laptop with an AMD GPU or an NVIDIA GPU, you might really like these recent updates. There were also a number of graphical improvements. For example, this one here is from Bylaws, a Skyline developer, because yes, Skyline helps out Yuzu and Yuzu helps out Skyline. It's a really nice community. Anyways, this is Story of Seasons before, and this is after, looking a lot better. Epic Boy added in some optimizations here for Breath of the Wild, resulting in a 3 to 5% performance increase when using OpenGL drivers. There were also a number of shader fixes. Here is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 before, and here is after. And here's even more before and after for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Here is before and here is after, and the water looks a heck of a lot better. And you can actually tell what's going on in this picture now. The mute audio and background option has been moved from general settings over to audio settings, and in my opinion, it's a much better place for it. And in addition to all of that, there's been input improvements, audio improvements, and a whole bunch of bug fixes, so go on ahead and check out that progress report. On a quick side note here, if you have an AMD GPU, you might not want to update your graphics driver past version 23.3.1. There have been problems with 23.3.2 and greater. Yuzu had an incredible month. Switch emulation continues to be on fire, and massive hat tips to the developers for continuing to be awesome. And speaking about awesome, next up we're talking about a brand new Edge of Emulation article. This one's about the VRS, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Virtual Real Racing System, depending on how you want to interpret that. In my opinion, this is a very interesting and pretty good read, so if you are curious about this one, I'll drop a link in the description below and not spoil it for you. And speaking about spoiling stuff, next up we're talking about something that might be a bit of a spoiler, so spoiler alert and feel free to skip ahead here. At this point in time, it's just a rumor. Nothing has been confirmed just yet, and it might even be false. But this rumor has a lot of people talking and a lot of people excited. Apparently, Nintendo is in the process of remastering Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. If you are curious about this one, I'll drop a link to the source in the description below and feel free to check it out. As soon as I know more, you'll know more. And speaking about knowing more, next up we're talking about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom special art book that had leaked way early, even before Nintendo had announced it. It appears that Nintendo is officially going after the leaker. If you wanted to learn more about this, I'll drop a link to the article in the description below and feel free to check it out. Apparently, Nintendo is going after Discord for the name, address, telephone number, and email for the user who possibly leaked this art book. And speaking about books, next up we're talking about the Holy Bible World English Bible on Game Boy Advance. Apparently there was a version of this and it was considered a game, I guess, of sorts. It was cancelled unexpectedly and never released. Well, now Forest Illusion has that game and it's been dumped. All of the details for this game are up on Forest Illusion, and if you wanted to check it out, I'll drop a link to it in the description below. And last up here, we're talking about the Anbernic RG35XX and GarlicOS. GarlicOS just got a pretty big update that really helps out performance. So Team Black Seraph was able to squeak out a couple extra frames per second on PCSX Rearmed, which is PS1 emulation. There are a number of other changes here, and if you wanted to check out the changelog, you can. It's up on their Patreon. The OS is there too, and it's 100% free. I'll drop a link in the description below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.